Hello everyone and welcome to my new YouTube channel. For those who don't know me, my name is Danica and you may have found me through my other channel. I do have one with my husband. We are in an interracial marriage, so welcome here to my channel where everything is going to be about me. I have lots of fun stuff planned for this channel, everything from beauty to hair to makeup, DIYs, and then also my pregnancy journey on here. So it's gonna be very fun and exciting. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and make sure that you're getting all the notifications every time I upload a post. And let's begin this video for today. So for today's video, it is going to be 10 things that they do not tell you in your first trimester when you're pregnant. Now, I have heard, before I became pregnant about symptoms and what to expect, like just normal symptoms, but there's a lot of things that they don't tell you about pregnancy that I'm here going to address. So I am currently in my 5th month of pregnancy, and this is my first pregnancy as well. So there's a lot of things that I don't expect to happen, that my body changes. And yeah, so we're gonna go over the 10 things that they do not tell you about pregnancy. And of course, like I've heard, briefly about things that happen to your body, like you get heartburn or you get morning sickness, but there's like a lot of things that I feel like are not spoken about. And I did the research. There's a lot of women who are going through the same thing. So it's not like something that just happens to rare women. No, this stuff is happening all the time for people in their first trimester. So let's begin. One of, I guess, the symptoms they don't really talk about, it's not on my list, but it's running out of breath. Like I feel like I'm constantly like trying to gasp for air and always just like breathing so hard. So don't mind that if you hear me breathing really hard. So the first symptom is morning sickness, nausea happening throughout the night. So nausea just doesn't happen like in the morning time. I don't know why they just call it morning sickness. This strikes you throughout the whole day, whole night, and overnight. So I was sick for about 3 months, and it was the most horrible experience I've ever felt because I typically am like a pretty healthy person, thank God. So I'm never sick. I never get the flu or anything. Maybe occasionally I'll have like a sore throat. But when I was nauseous, oh my gosh, like I was in bed for almost 3 months straight. Like I didn't go to work. I didn't do anything. Like I was literally in bed. And thankfully I didn't throw up because for one, I don't like throwing up. I haven't thrown up since I was a child. I actually have a fear of throwing up, so that wasn't gonna happen. I was just like literally suffering through the whole entire nausea. I wasn't able to eat because you're nauseous, and then if you don't eat, you get more nauseous. So it's like you have to eat, but you can't eat. So it was definitely a battle there that I was dealing with for 3 months. And yeah, no one ever tells you that you're gonna get morning sickness at night. Like you just think, oh, I'm just gonna be sick in the morning and then pass through it. No, it lingers all day, all night. And for 3 months, that was a long time for me. So the second symptom that they don't talk about is gas pains, constipation, everything. For me, I had, and I still have a lot of trapped gas in my upper stomach, and it's so painful to the point where I can't breathe, I can't talk, I can't walk. Like I just hurtle up and just deal with the pain. And usually it lingers for like a good 15 minutes, but that 15 minutes to 20 minutes is so painful. The first time I experienced it, I was like, oh my gosh, like what is this? I had kind of felt similar, kind of similar feelings before, not being pregnant with gas, but it's like when you have gas naturally, it's usually down in your lower stomach. So for it to be all the way up here and you don't have that urge to fart or whatever, it was really weird. And it was so painful. And yeah, and once I told my doctor, she's like, oh, that's normal. And I'm just like, what? Like, what do I do when that happens? And she's like, just get in this kind of position and just, you know, it'll go away and you just got to deal with it. So I feel like that's another thing that they don't talk about is painful gas and being constipated. Like constipation is horrible. So for me to go through like a normal lifestyle with my bowel movements and everything to then boom, like not being able to release anything was just, it was crazy. So this next symptom is something that like I wish that it would just go away, and I'd rather take those random gas pains than to have this every single day. It's so annoying. And that is a sour metallic tongue. Yes, everything is so sour and bitter, and oh, it's just so gross. And in the beginning, when I was not able to eat, like when I was nauseous every single day, I would try to eat, but the taste of my tongue had this sour, bitter taste. So it made the food even 10 times more gross. And I was just suffering because I would try to eat and then like, it was just, oh my gosh, just thinking about it is so gross. But currently today, I have this like tongue that's just so sour, and I feel like I have to brush my tongue literally every like 30 minutes. I literally run to the bathroom, I'll scrape my tongue, and then it just comes back. So it's so annoying. Constantly just having the sour, bitter taste in your mouth is just, no, I hate it. So this next one is really interesting. This has something to do with your ears. Now, going through pregnancy, I guess it does something to your ear. It's called vertigo ear, and it just makes you super like dizzy, and there's like a ringing noise. And I'll get this probably, well, I got it a lot in my first trimester, and it's kind of like went down a little bit now, but it's just like this dizziness that you get. And I would be sensitive to loud noises. If I heard loud noises, it would just kind of like throw me off and just make everything super like unbalanced. And like these things, they don't tell you, like, and like I said, a lot of women experience this and no one talks about it. No one lets you know like, hey, you're gonna probably experience this or this or this. And these are like things that scare you. Like when you wake up and everything is just like dizzy and unbalanced, like it's a really frightening experience. So yeah, that is definitely something that really scared me, and I just deal with it because there's things like these symptoms, you can't do anything. You can't take medication for them, like you can't do anything, so you just have to deal with it. So the next symptom that they do not tell you about, well, it's not really a symptom, but well, I guess it is. Just things that happen when you're pregnant. You get a lot of weird dreams. So I naturally have like crazy dreams that don't make sense, or they do, or whatever. And I tend to remember them every single time I wake up. But these dreams that I'm having are just like beyond crazy, and they're so random, they're so interesting. Like I wake up and I'm like, whoa, did I just dream that? Some are scary, some can be really frightening, and some can be uncomfortable, like why did I dream that? But you just have weird dreams. All right, so the next thing that they don't tell you about is excessive saliva. Now I guess I've heard about this before, but usually women, like I heard in the 3rd trimester, get the excessive saliva, but I was getting it literally from 1st trimester to 2nd trimester, and I still have it. It's just your mouth gets so watery and you just have to like spit. So constantly, like it's not a little bit, it's like your mouth fills up with saliva. Like saliva is gross when you have so much of it in your mouth and you don't know what to do with it, especially when you're in the store or something. Like you can't just spit right there. So it's very, very frustrating and gross. And let me know down too in the comments if you guys have experienced any of these symptoms, where if it was like extreme, severe to just mild or whatever, because I want to know how bad these symptoms were for you guys. So the next symptom is back pains. Now, I've heard of back pains, of course, but again, I thought it was just in the 3rd trimester when you're about to give labor. Like, of course, your belly is really big and you're trying to like hold your balance with the weight and everything, and it strains your back. No, back pains come like in the 1st trimester. Like horrible back pains. It's just because everything is stretching down there and just getting prepared for your baby to grow in your stomach. And yeah, I would be on my feet all day, and then coming home, laying down, and then getting up, my back would hurt so bad to where I wouldn't be able to walk. And it's the lower back, it hurts so bad, and I'm just like, why do I have back pains? Like, I don't even have a bump yet. And yeah, so things like this, they don't tell you, hey, be prepared for back pains in your first trimester. Who would have thought? All right, guys, we're down to 3 more symptoms. The next one is bleeding gums. Okay, so when you brush your teeth now, well, when I brush my teeth, my gums bleed so much, to the point, again, where my mouth is filled with saliva and filled with blood, and it's just a big mess. And I'll catch my gums bleeding throughout the day too. So I'll just taste this like irony blood taste in my mouth, and I'm like, what is that taste? And then it ends up being my blood from my gums. So it can happen when you're eating. Like if you take a bite out of an apple or something hard, or even just eating anything, your gums will just start bleeding, and it's so gross. So that's another thing, is the bleeding gums. Ew. So this isn't really like a symptom again. This is just something that I feel like no one talks about, or you would never expect. And that's for prenatal vitamins to be very, very gross. I know vitamins, you know, naturally, or any kind of pill form, sometimes people have a hard time taking it down. For me, that wasn't the problem. The problem was the prenatal vitamins making me sick. So I tried the gummies, I tried the hard pills and everything, but the gummies would leave a really like a foul taste in my mouth after I would eat them, and then they would make my stomach hurt. So then I was like, okay, let me switch to something else. So I tried the hard pills, and same thing, it would leave this like aftertaste in my mouth. And also the pills, I feel like, would just not dissolve, and they would just kind of get stuck down here. And even if I drank water, it didn't help. So yeah, prenatals definitely gave me a hard time in the beginning to take. I actually wasn't taking them in the beginning, but now I am. I'm trying to force myself, but they suck. So for the last symptom, sense of smell. Now, I've heard about this again too. I've heard about the sense of smell, like pregnant women can, you know, smell for miles. But I didn't know that it was that bad, to where you can literally smell everything. Like anything, like you can smell. You can smell skin, you can smell, like for me, it was my bathroom. And usually I always have candles on in my bathroom, and my bathroom usually tends to smell decent. I mean, bathrooms are gross anyway, so what bathroom is gonna smell the best? Okay, but at least we try to use air fresheners, we try to use candles. Even after that, I could smell, I feel like, the toilet, I smelled the shower, like just kind of rustic scents, and it was just really gross. And it was to the point where like you could shut the door, because our bathroom is like right out there, and you could shut the door and I could still smell the bathroom. I was able to smell my husband. My husband smells naturally good when I wasn't pregnant, but now I'm like, honey, you got a scent to you. But I mean, he always smells good. He always wears lotions and colognes and everything, but there was something to his skin where like I smelt it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is insane. Like it's just amazing how our bodies just transform, and everything is for a reason. Like I believe, you know, these symptoms are for a reason, to help us, our natural instincts, you know, prepare to have a baby and protect the baby and everything. So I mean, these things are just stuff that happens, and naturally when it's your first pregnancy like me, you don't know what to expect. Your body every single day is changing, and it's just overwhelming. It's an amazing thing. I feel like I look at all the moms now and I'm like, wow, like how did you do this? Even though I am in my 5th month, I know I still have a pretty long ways to go. Even though I'm halfway there, I know there's so much more that I, you know, am going to be expecting. And I'm scared, I'm excited, I'm anxious. Like there's just all these emotions in one ball. So It's definitely overwhelming, but I couldn't be more blessed. I couldn't be more happy. And I'm just excited, and I'm excited to bring you guys along my journey as well. Like I said, whether if you're, you know, a first time mom to going through these changes, or if you are a mother and you can kind of relate, and also give me some tips, everything, leave them down in the comments. I would appreciate it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give this video a thumbs up, and also subscribe to my channel because I'm gonna be uploading more content for you guys. So I will see you guys soon. Bye.